I'm Lisa, and welcome to Lesson 15 of our note reading course. This is a review lesson. It's a cumulative review of everything that we've learned so far. We're going to cover all of the white and black keys, sharps and flats, including white key, sharps and flats. So we're going to practice those using the NoteRush app and also our workbook. Let's get started. All right, so having a look at the workbook here, I'm just going to go over everything that we've learned so far, starting with our landmark notes. So we began learning the landmark notes middle C, treble G, and bass F. So there's your middle C, your treble G, and your bass F. Remembering these are all line notes, and they live on their own special ledger line, and then also on the lines that are up to in the treble staff and down to in the bass staff. We learned those in lesson 1. All right, and then we moved on to learn the C's. In lesson number 5, we learned this high C and low C and high C and then low C. Now, the important thing to remember is high C needs 2 ledger lines and low C also needs 2 ledger lines. The only C with a single ledger line is middle C. The high and low C's each need 2 ledger lines. And then we filled in with our treble C up here and our bass C down here. These C's are both 3 spaces away from the middle. So if we go up 3 spaces in the treble staff, we land on treble C. And if we go down 3 spaces in the bass staff, we land on bass C. Then we learned all of the neighbors and skips away from each of those notes, remembering that notes move from a line to a space to a line to a space to a line to a space. So the neighbors of any line note are going to be space notes. And the skips away from line notes will also be lines. If we're on a space note, the neighbors away will be lines, and the skips away will also be spaces. So that helped us to fill in all of the notes between these landmarks. But it didn't address any of the black keys. So we started thinking about these as sharps, which go up a half step. So if we were going to add a sharp here to this guide note, we would end up with, I'm going to grab my eraser just to clean this up for you. So if we add a sharp to our high G, that means we raise the note up a half step or semitone to a higher sounding pitch. So G moves up to G sharp. And we can do that for every white key. We can name it a half step higher just by adding a sharp in front of it. We can do the same thing with flats. So if I were to take a flat and put it in front of this G, then I'm going to move down a half step. So here I have treble G, down a half step, takes me down a semitone to the nearest key, which is a black key, and we have G flat. So we can do that with all of the white keys. We can go down a half step and call them by their flat name. We also discovered that some notes don't have a black key where we would expect to find a sharp or a flat. So C does not have a flat below it. Well, it doesn't have a black key below it, but we can write C flat and we can play C flat. You would normally call this note B, but it also exists as C flat. Same thing happens with F flat. There is no F. There is no black key to the left of F, but we can go down a half step and land on the note E and call it F flat. Same thing happens with E. There's no sharp. That's a black key above E, but we can still play E sharp. I'll just squeeze one in here. E sharp takes us to a white key. The same thing happens with B. We don't have a sharp above it. There's no black key above B, but there is such a thing as B sharp, but it lands us on the note C, which is a white key. So what we can do now is we can go ahead and practice drawing our landmark notes, and then we can practice naming all of these notes that have sharps and flats. Some of them will be white key flats, and some of them will be black key flats or sharps. So let's just go ahead and do a couple of these together, and then we'll work on our NoteRush app. And then we'll feel very proud that we have learned all of the notes on the staff. Now, if any of this is too much for you, I do recommend that you go back and try some of the earlier lessons. So let's just go through these. They won't be too hard at first, I promise. Here we have D, which is very close to our treble C. Here we have B flat, which is very close to our middle C. Here we have C sharp, which is our high C guide note. Here we have A, which is very close to our treble C. Also close to treble C, we have B. Here we have A flat, close to our high C. And here we have E, which is a skip above treble C. Here we have D, just above middle C. Here we have A and G sharp and D, and you can go ahead and practice all of these notes. The answers are at the back of the book. You can get the workbook at pianovideolessons.com/noterush. And then we have two different drills here. We have one that reviews all the white keys. So if you wanted to just focus on the white keys without any sharps or flats, go ahead and drill those. And then we have another one, which is a review all, which includes all of the white keys, all of the black keys, and all of the white key flats and sharps. So let's try that one. I'll go ahead and load the app. All right, here they are, all of the notes. So I'm going to load the app by pressing the yellow play button, calibrate my instrument with pressing this button again. Here's middle C to start. And we've got G flat, G, F sharp, A sharp, F, E flat, C sharp, D, low F, B flat, B, E, A flat, F sharp, F flat, that's a white key, B, E, B sharp, white key, G flat, you get the idea. Whoop, that one wasn't loud enough. All right, so practice all of your notes. I hope you had a great time with this course. Again, if any of these notes are tricky, just hop on back and watch the videos from the early ones and start practicing them with your NoteRush app or your workbook, whatever works better for you. And happy piano playing. If you want to look for more lessons here at pianovideolessons.com, I've got lots of free lessons on how to play beginner pieces, and as well as some arranged piano classics and some chord playing as well. All right, so have a great day, and I'll see you soon.